Hey, I'm on the edge of my seat here, back again with another brand new stream. And today is the third part of my Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth walkthrough. However, there's a difference here. And the difference is that this is not live. In fact, this is not a stream at all. This is a recording of the game, which I am then commentating on after the fact. Simply put, I kind of run into a situation where I just want to play this game, right? And the thing about streaming is it always has to be live. I always need to have internet connection. And there's just certain times where I don't have internet connection, but I have my Steam Deck. I have this game available, and I can record it. So I thought that, in these situations where, I'm in a bit of a rush, or maybe I'm somewhere where I don't have good internet or just a good setup, because in order to get set up to stream, I need to have the Steam Deck plugged in. I need to have my controller plugged in. And if I feel like it, I want to have the HDMI connected to my TV to kind of display it that way. Right now, this is not HDMI footage. This is me standing in place at some point playing the Steam Deck. Standing up because it's a portable device. However, I made a mistake, and the mistake is I did not pick up audio of this recording, and I saved over the file, which would allow me to go back and redo this to get audio. So the first 18 minutes of this air quotes stream will have zero audio. Yeah, and the reason is because this is 3 videos compiled into one big video, which I'm going to say is the third part of my walkthrough, because it is. This is the third part of my walkthrough, just that it's... Honestly, that's very fitting. 3 videos for part 3, three, what could be the third 3? 3 protagonists, look at that. Ichiban, Adachi, and Namba. Dude, it's the triple threes, and unlike 6 triples, like triple six, this is actually a good thing. Actually, I don't even know if triple threes are a good thing. Triple sevens, it's I don't want to say the naughty word so soon in the video. It's 2 minutes. I think YouTube will be very cross with me. Curse is crossed. Yeah, YouTube will be very cross with me if I say the naughty word so soon. So yeah, triple seven is heck yeah, man. Fire truck. Triple fours, I don't think is too suspicious, but 4-4, some people do not like that at all. They would die if they saw that. But triple threes? I mean, what's so special about triple threes aside from just, what would be the term for it? It's not alliteration. Alliteration is a term where, in writing, if you do something like boozy boy, boozed, bound, the border, it has B in every single word. So when you're saying the sentence, the B sound keeps coming up. And, very talented writers use that, literary technique to really good effect, and not to write boozy boy boozes down the boozy aisle. They don't write that. They use it for really smart reasons. Though you can also misuse literary techniques. I mean, there's a lot of TikTok poetry that's just very fucking cringe. I just said the naughty word. Hey, 3 minutes in is good. Hey, I was just talking about how good number 3 is. And I'm really glad that Yakuza brought back, just picking up trash off the ground. I mean, hey, it's Ichiban, he's done this before. And now that he's jobless, he's returning to doing it again. I do really like his hairstyle in the beginning of the game, but, this super crazy hair he has is kind of mimicking other JRPG heroes, and you gotta bring it back. And also just being able to move in a circle, just being able to move your character around in the turn-based battle is a huge improvement, considering the fact that in Yakuza 7, you're just always constantly, they're just moving by themselves, so it's just cool that you can actually control them now. And also, it's just, we haven't reached this part yet, but Kiryu will be one of our party members later on. In fact, all the way at the very end of this video. This video is going to be an hour, 35 minutes, and I've just spoiled what happens in the last 3 minutes of this stream thing going on. But yeah, no, I'm playing on the Steam Deck, and yeah, you can see that I'm playing on the Steam Deck. I mean, I decided to actually have good graphics this time, but it is running at 70, 80 speed. This thing with frame rates and old TVs around, let's say, the PS2 era, though I'm pretty sure this was also true during the N64 and PS1 era, though I guess it was more noticeable during the PS2 era because consoles like the N64 and PS1, I'm not an expert on this, but I'm pretty sure they're not consoles known for running games at 60 FPS. Did 60 FPS games even really exist back then like that? It really did not run like that. I don't know. Mega Man X is a really smooth running game, but it chugs sometimes. There's certain areas where if you do a really big attack, the game kind of slows down a little bit. And there I am sadly assaulting this one random person who does not move. I don't know. You can't talk with him. He has a little dialogue box, but you just can't move him. It's usually in Yakuza fashion, if you bump into someone, you will make them move. They'll like get out of the way. I mean, that's like a fun thing which certain later games added. I don't know specifically which game added it. I'm gonna say Ishin added it because in Yakuza 5, bumping into people, that's Yakuza 5 is probably one of the least fun games when it comes into bumping into people, because in Yakuza 1, you bump into someone and it's like they fall down. Hell yeah. And then in Yakuza 2, it's pretty much the same thing because same map, same graphics. You know, I mean, somewhat, Yakuza 3, still fun to bump into people. Yakuza Kenzen also. So Yakuza Kenzen and 3 are pretty similar. And 4, you know, same deal. 5 is the big change when it comes to bumping into people. And it's just very sluggish and slow. And sometimes, I swear, do you fall down sometimes when you bump into someone? I don't even know, but it's not fun. Yeah, Ishin was just a really big step up in terms of like bumping into people tech, because instead of like, you know, slowing down your entire pace when bumping into people in Ishin, I mean, like sometimes it slightly slows you down, but other times you just straight up knock the person over or the person gets out of your way. Or that might be a thing which Yakuza 0 introduced, because no, Ishin introduced it. It's just the Yakuza 0 came out in the West before Ishin, so some people might remember it as Yakuza 0. In fact, I'm pretty sure I played Yakuza 0 before playing Ishin, just because it was in English and Ishin wasn't, and then I kind of went to Ishin like later down the line while it was still in Japanese before the Kiwami version came out, and then I got to play some Ishin, and Ishin is like one of the smoothest running games in the series on PS4. I mean, it released on PS3 and PS4, you know, at the same time. The same thing happened with Yakuza 0, but only in Japan, because once it came over to the West, it only released on PS4. So sorry if you wanted a version of Yakuza 0 that ran at 30 FPS. The only version that exists is the Japanese version, or if you just have a really bad computer, you can go ahead and try out 30 FPS Yakuza 0. But yeah, no. And the reason why bumping into people is more fun in Ishin and 0 is just because running around the world is more fun. You just like the way you run around in Yakuza 5, you know, just like very weird physics, you know, like you would like stop and start in just very strange ways. I mean, not really strange, realistic, but very like unnatural to play ways, you know? Like Yakuza 0 and Ishin are just like, you know what? Here's how you're going to move around the world. You have a standard jog that, you know, it's not like sprinting, but it's like, you know, fast enough you're running. You know, you just hold the stick down, you do a standard run, and it's like decently fast, but you also have a sprint meter. So, you know, if you want to sprint, you go ahead and sprint, and you sprint way faster. And when you sprint, it does affect the way you knock down enemies. You know, you knock them down faster, or enemies are just more inclined to immediately get out of your way. And it's super dope. Also, this item I'm buying here, it's not going to be very useful for right now, and honestly, it may not even be useful for later once I get better equipment. But that is like the only item I found in the game at this exact point that increases my agility and evasion. Actually, I'm not even sure it increases evasion, but it's increasing my agility. However, that's pointless now because I just found out, okay, I was under this false impression of Yakuza 8. Well, it's not called Yakuza 8 anymore, so that's one false impression. It's called Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. However, it is Yakuza 8. It is Like a Dragon 8. And, you know, they kind of worked it into the title itself because there's like infinite. Infinite is like an 8 sign. And, you know, this is the 8th entry, the 8th mainline entry. So, you know, they kind of work it in that way, even though technically it might be the 9th because it's like, you know, 0 exists. You know, it's like 0, 1, 2, 3. The 0 becomes a 1, so it's like 1, 1, 1, which is 2, and then 3, 4, 5. But yeah, I was under the false impression that this game didn't have hard or legend difficulties yet. Because the reason I had this false impression is because I haven't heard anyone talking about, you know, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on hard or legend. And, you know, I thought, oh shit, are they doing the same thing that they did in Yakuza 7, where pretty much the hard and legend difficulties, in Japan specifically, did not come out until a year after the game was out. Mind you, New Game Plus didn't exist until like a year after the game was out in Japan. However, a year after the game was out in Japan, that's like around the time the game was coming over to the West. So when Yakuza 7, well, Yakuza Like a Dragon, they did a whole, you know, fucking song and dance about changing the name and all that, and now we have like a new naming convention that's a little bit more confusing to follow, but hey, Like a Dragon, you know, it's just like in Japan, which is pretty cool. But moving on from that, you know, the West got to have all the goodies which Japan had to wait for like, you know, a whole ass year. But now this game came out the exact same day in Japan and in the West. So now it's like, are we going to have to suffer just like Japan did? Are we going to have to wait an entire year just for New Game Plus to be free and for hard and legend difficulties to exist? Well, 50-50, because New Game Plus costs money. And, New Game Plus still costs money. And yes, I did pay that money for the deluxe edition because I need my New Game Plus. I mean, it's like they're discriminating against no damagers that can't pay 15 extra bucks, and it fucking sucks. It's actually like one of the scummiest things. Like, Yakuza's finally become popular, so Sega are like more inclined to be scummy with their DLC practices. Like, locking New Game Plus behind like a DLC upgrade is highway robbery, and it's a highway which I got robbed on, which I forced myself to get robbed of because I need my New Game Plus. I need to no damage on Legend. But basically what that means is I don't really need to stress out about no damage while doing my normal playthrough. All I have to do is just play the game, and once I'm done playing the game in Premium Adventure or something, I'll probably grind all my characters to level 99, and then I'll grind all the jobs to level 99, because grinding every single job will give you stat boosts in certain ways, get max attack, get max agility and evasion. That's another thing. This game... it's kind of separated agility and evasion into two separate things. Before, it was just agility, from what I remember. Like, pretty much you upgrade your agility to get more evasion. But now, evasion is its own stat. So it's like, do I even need to upgrade agility? Like, is agility only... I'm pronouncing it wrong anyways, but is agility only useful for being able to hit enemies? Like, I don't know. It means enemies can also, like, dodge your attacks. So maybe higher agility stops that from happening. Or is agility... Does agility decide... does your character's agility decide your turn order? Like, like the higher the agility, like, the more turns you get to have before the enemy gets to have their turns, which is also really useful. So I still need to upgrade my agility stats. But now evasion, like, do I have to, like, separately upgrade evasion just to be able to dodge attacks myself? Is that what we're dealing with here? Because that means that those items I just bought, those, like, blue souls, don't actually matter much. Aside from giving me more turns to attack the enemy. But in terms of no damage, means nothing. But I don't even have to no damage. Because, see, what I was worried about is if New Game Plus exists, but the only difficulty is normal, that is going to be the most boring no damage video of all time. Like, it's just going to be me at level 99 steamrolling like a level 7 boss fight. Which there's going to be a level 7 boss fight coming up in this video, but it's just going to be such a lame video, and I'm just not going to be all that hyped for it. I mean, like, if that was the only way to do it, I would do it, but then at that point, it's like, ooh, maybe I can no damage on my first playthrough, but playing through these fights, pretty sure that's flat out impossible. Like, maybe for 1 or 2 fights, you could do, like, some insane, out-of-this-world, 100-hour grinding, and maybe it's possible. Then there's just some fights where I don't even think you can, like, grind hard enough in order to, be able to fight them. Like, it would have to be, like, 500-hour grinding in, like, one area. Like, that reminds me of this one video. Someone, like, in Kingdom Hearts 1, like, is it possible to reach level 100 on the very first island of Kingdom Hearts 1? By the way, if you are not familiar, I did no damage all the story boss fights in the very first Kingdom Hearts. And, well, by the very first Kingdom Hearts, I don't mean the PS2 version. I, of course, mean the PS4 HD, like, remaster. Well, I mean, it's not really a remake, it's more of a port, but technically they did remake certain assets because they actually lost the original assets from the PS2 source code, so they had to pretty much remake all of them. It's just that when they remade them, they all look exactly the same. There was just higher fidelity. Just they did a fantastic job with that PS4 like HD remaster, which is kind of based on the PS3 HD remaster. But the great thing about the PS4 one is that it runs at 60 FPS and the PS3 one doesn't. So, there is that. Though, when it comes to when I first played Kingdom Hearts, the first time I played it was through those PS3 HD remasters. Though with Kingdom Hearts 2, I emulated the Final Mix version instead of playing that PS3 HD remaster, because I heard the Kingdom Hearts 2 especially suffered from the PS3 version, like slowdowns here and there. Though the one painful thing about, doing walkthroughs this way is that when I'm doing my commentary, I'm not actually playing the game. So, like, I'm not really reacting to what's happening here because I already saw it. I already know what's going on. It's more like I'm doing a retrospective on this video that's happening right now. However, I guess while recording this little fake stream, I could just kind of be silent, let the game play out. Except not in these first 18 minutes because there's no audio, there's nothing to listen to. So I'm just going to keep, kind of like I ID app. That's what I'm gonna do for most of this video. I've kind of lost my train of thought on where to go from here because I have a bit of a headache, and that does make it a little bit hard to focus on the grand adventure of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. But the fact that there actually is a hard and legend difficulty does kind of like de-stress me a lot, because like, I mean, honestly, I was just trying to plan out maybe a certain way to no damage these boss fights early, you know, on my first playthrough, and just like it gives me such a headache because it's just flat out impossible without some like 700 hour like grinding fiasco, and like the streams would probably become very boring and dull. And one thing which kind of annoys me is they introduced Nancy Chan here, and she comes to Hawaii with you, but when she's in Hawaii with you, you can't use her as a summon. It's like, what? You know, because summons are going to be like the best way to no damage. It's going to be a huge part of no damaging the boss fights, because the summons deal the most damage out of any attacks you have in the game. That's how it was in Yakuza 7, and I highly doubt it's any different in this game. So, you know, you have to be rich, you have to spend a ton of money to use them, but they are super important for just steamrolling certain boss fights, because I do assume that Yakuza 8, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth here, is going to have boss fights like the big-ass machine from Yakuza 7. And, oh, here we go. We're fine. Okay, the first video ended, and the second video is beginning because there's actually audio here. Also, I did very minimal editing with these videos. The only thing which I edited is that sometimes, like, you know, while recording these, like, videos, I was kind of, like, in the middle of the road or something, and I had to pause the game to just do something, and sometimes I would pause it for a very long time. I cut those, like, little pauses out. So whenever I would pause for, like, say, 10 minutes, I just cut all of that off, so it just seems like I cut... So it just seems like I paused for only, like, you know, 5 seconds or so, but that's not really what happened. This video would be like 2 hours if I didn't cut around, but now I cut like basically 30 minutes of just waiting time. I mean, during a stream, I would just kind of let that play out because, you know, it's live, you know, I mean, I can't really edit like while doing it live, but this isn't live, so I'll just cut out that inconvenience out of the way. But, you know, I will show the rest of my walkthrough. Just like leaving the game paused while I go do something isn't really that substantial to a walkthrough, unless I'm actually doing it live, like I'm actually taking a break, you know. And here we're getting reintroduced to the Sujimon. I never completed the entire Sujimon of Yakuza 7. In fact, I never platinumed Yakuza 7. I mean, maybe I'll do it one day, but yeah, just never did it. Honestly, the one game I want to like platinum is Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, because like I did so much of it, and I'm just so close to finishing that platinum because that game is played the audio, and it played fine in VLC, but when I put it into Premiere, like that specific audio file, it would just show up as 000, despite the fact that it was an 18-minute long audio recording, mind you. Subtract 18 from 13, that's 5. Like 5 minutes of that recording is just nothing. It was just me like trying to make the audio to stop recording, but Premiere refused to stop recording. It was also recording that. So I had to convert that like file into a different type of file. If I recorded it into like a normal MP3, it would be corrupted. If I recorded it into like a MP4 with MP3 in it, the only way I could play the file is with Apple TV, but that's for some reason fucking Premiere likes that file. However, the file audio sounds like ass. The audio doesn't usually sound like that. Like the original WAV file, which just just doesn't work with Premiere, sounds fine, but I had to convert it to another file, and I'm just so mad. I mean, at the very least, I don't have to re-record all of that because I kind of forgot most of the stuff I just babbled about for 13 minutes straight. And the reason like Premiere freezes is because like there's a certain specific section of this video which just makes my Premiere cry to itself and just shut down. And it just makes me incredibly mad. It's like, ugh. Like, it just kind of makes me want to go, you know what, like, this part of the walkthrough is abandoned, you know, let's not make this video, because, oh my goodness, having to talk for 13 minutes straight again, also trying to, like, vaguely remember what I was talking about off the cuff, like, I don't even remember, but the audio exists, thankfully. I don't have to do all of that again. In fact, I'm actually going to stop this audio recording now, because if I keep it going for too long, it might just freeze again, I might just lose what I'm talking about right now. And I guess while I'm on the subject of unfortunate events, so the day that Yakuza 8 here, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth came out, like the first day I streamed the game, the first day the game came out, and thankfully, once again, the advantage of getting it on Steam is I got to record the game a lot earlier than anyone else, because if I got this game on PS5, I would have to use Remote Play because I don't have my PS5 with me, though technically I could still play my PS5 with Remote Play because I have it set up that way, and what I could do is I could use OBS to record the Remote Play screen And pretty much that'll be my walkthrough. Mind you, if the only way to play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is like on the PS5 because it's a PS5 exclusive, which mind you, the PS5 needs a lot more exclusives because right now it has like no games. Every single game that was on PS5 is just transferred to PC. Mind you, that doesn't really affect me too much because I don't have a good PC. So honestly, the PS5 is just the way I play games. If I want them to, run smooth, like definitely for sure. If I want to run the Resident Evil 4 remake at 1080p 60 FPS, if I want to record a no damage run of that game, I will buy it on PS5. I will not buy it on Steam Deck because that is inconsistent. And my laptop, inconsistent. But the PS5 is consistency, and also it is my Blu-ray player. It's just a Blu-ray player I keep upgrading every month. Mind you, the PS4 could only play like Blu-rays. It couldn't play the 4K Blu-rays, right? So the PS5 is just my guaranteed like 4K player. Though there was a specific PS4, like the PS4 Pro, could that play 4K Blu-rays? Mind you, playing 4K Blu-rays isn't even that important for me given the fact that I don't have a 4K TV. So, first I need to get the 4K TV to even take advantage of the 4K feature of the PS5. But anyways, I'm taking this taxi to Hawaii. At the very least, I do believe I am going to Hawaii at this point. But yeah, no, the negative thing about the day that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth came out, for some reason, I lost 20 subscribers while doing my first streams of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like, I don't know what happened. Mind you, like, all I did that day was I released my short film publicly, like my short experimental film about theaters. I released that publicly. Not that many people saw it, but the people that did see it seemed to like it. I know YouTube removed the dislikes, but I myself can see if people that disliked the video, they haven't, So whoever has seen it, I was like, okay, this is alright, or they were just neutral on it. And my streams don't have any dislikes on them, so it's like, what gives? What made people suddenly, like, negative 20 subscribers? Is like YouTube killing bots? Are those like bots being killed from my subscriber list? Did just 20 YouTube accounts decide to deactivate and unsubscribe from everyone they were subscribed to? Like, it's just like, I was at like 9,300 subs and it was amazing, but now I'm like at 9,290 subs, which is still an amazing number, but it's just like, it's not even anymore. Wait, 9,300 is an even number. It's just that the 3's not even, right? And we're back at 3's. I'm always talking about 3's with this game. This might as well be called Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth 3. Maybe like the new naming convention for this series of Like a Dragon games should be Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth 3, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth 4, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth Fasten your seatbelts, because that one will have more cars than the previous 9 entries or so, just to kind of get things a little confusing. Hey, which Yakuza 3 do you like? Oh, I really like the one with blocking. What? I never blocked the ones. I never used the perfect block in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth 3. Oh, now that I'm thinking about perfect blocks, honestly, the game might prove me wrong. And also, I think this is something which I've mentioned before, but I really wish that when you did a perfect block in this game, that it would just completely negate damage. See, the little pause there actually was there for longer, but I cut it down to be shorter just to save some time on this video, because it's like, what am I going to commentate on, on a pause screen, right? And here we get introduced to this character who is voiced by Alex Lee. I think that's his last name. Alex Lee got a lot of fame. Just because he was a good voice actor and all that, but he really hit the web during Street Fighter 6. Like, honestly, just all his hyping up, like him hyping up his role for that game, honestly hyped up Yakuza 6. Street Fighter 6 as well. He's the voice of Luke in that game, so he's just been helping spreading around memes about him. He's actually like put in a lot of effort and just giving good promotion to that game. And he voices this guy in the wheelchair. However, I'm not playing dub, I am playing sub. Honestly, the only time I'm going to play the dub for this game is probably whenever I end up doing the Roblox no damage. But I haven't even done the normal no damage of this game. And also, I haven't done a Roblox no damage of the Kaito files yet, or Like a Dragon Gaiden, or Like a Block Gaiden, whatever I'm going to end up calling that video. I still have to do that. The thing is, in order to do a Roblox version of Like a Dragon Gaiden, I would have to buy that game on PC, and it costs $50 on PC, and and I'm still busy with the Kaito files, and also just doing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. This kind of takes priority. I have to do this no damage on Legend, and hopefully it's possible. Just because, there's just I fear there's like little changes made to the combat system that just might make it a lot harder. Like, I mean, something which I was noticing is that I used the Peach Step item and it only lasted for like 2 turns for the characters. Like that's gonna be straight up impossible. It takes like 1 turn to re-equip that item onto my character. So it's like, and also I think the bonuses from the restaurant don't last as much in battle. So it's like that is just going to hamper my ability to, you know, dodge attacks a lot. So, you know, unless I can just rely on like insane stat boosting. Honestly, one thing which I really want to find in this game, it was something which used to exist in Yakuza 7, but then they patched it out. There was like an exploit where you could just get like infinite stat boosts, but it got patched out. So I could not do that for Yakuza 7. So when I was doing my Roblox 7 no damage video, I just cheated. You know, I just like hacked the game to get infinite stat boosts, to get infinite agility and all that. Well, not infinite, but max agility. Just to see if it was like, if theoretically, if I got max agility, would it be possible to dodge all the attacks the legend boss fights do? And theoretically, it was possible, except for Jujin Han and Joe Sawashiro. Those guys are still impossible. And now that I'm thinking about those guys, this game here, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, is such a bad place to start. Like, honestly, this story is very slow to really get anywhere, and honestly, most of the hook of this story in the beginning is just that you know these characters because you played Yakuza 7, but if you didn't, this game might seem like such a slog. I mean, honestly, it kind of hampers on like Metal Gear Solid 4. No, it doesn't. Metal Gear Solid 4 is such a game that you shouldn't start with, that like, you know, you're gonna go bananas if you start with that game. This game is nowhere near as bad as that, but it has a similar feeling. Where it's like, if you start with this game, you'll be like, why the fuck should I care? You know, it's like, oh, this guy got dumped from his job. Who is this guy? Why does everyone love him so much? And it's like, you need to play Yakuza 7 to understand that. And, you know, that feeling is only gonna get worse considering that, like, I don't know, the trailer's already spoiled it. You know, Kiryu's here, he has cancer, it's like his final days or something. You know, it's like, and like one of his side quests is just like a bucket list of going back to his past and reuniting with people, like, you know, in his final moments or whatever. Like, how the fuck do you start with that? Literally just start with Yakuza 7, you know? Like, you're gonna thank yourself for that later, you know? Just, oh man, it's just that there's still gonna be publications that say, oh yeah, no, Yakuza Infinite Wealth is a good place to start, you know? Like, just hop on in. They summarize the events of the previous games. That's enough. Like, oh man.
昔はもっとたくさん来てた。あんたも今度は友達連れて大勢で来てよ。まあ、今回はちょっと分け
I like this dude's shirt. It's purple. It's a purple individual. He's got the color of royalty on him, even though he really does not demonstrate any royal features whatsoever. Just from like the short amount of time I've gotten to know this guy, he really is not royalty at all. He's very not royalty. He's mean. I mean, to be fair, royalty is also mean. Like, there's a lot of kings that are just assholes. Mind you, I'm just kind of speaking from movies. Like, you know, like the hero will like talk to the king, and the king will be like, "Oh, this guy, we should kill him." You know, like they're just very mean kings. But in terms of real life kings, I mean, shit, the British monarchy are pretty fucking mean sometimes. The way they treated Diana and all that. And they're pretty fucking mean, starting the the fucking Mau Mau Revolution. It was like this thing, I forgot where specifically in Africa, but they really fucked people over. Like, the fucking queen was involved in that shit. So that was pretty fucking mean. So, you know, maybe this guy is royalty, you know? Like, he imbues those realistic, like, those realistic attributes of kings and queens, of just being cunts. Because this guy is pretty cunty sometimes, but honestly, he's kind of cunty because there's a bigger cunt forcing him to cunt, you know? Like, it happens. That's realistic, too. They did a good job editing those trailers because they make it seem like this moment is pretty much how Ichiban ends up naked on a beach. Like, the very first time this game got promoted, it was like on the first official trailer for like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. It's just like Ichiban butt booty naked on a beach, right? And then the later trailers, they kind of show this, and then they cut to that scene. But no, that's not what happened, because actually this guy pulls a gun on him, but like his eyes show that he's such a baby that Ichiban just walks up to him and takes the gun away. I mean, hey, I just spoiled the scene for you if you're just watching this walkthrough and have no idea what happens. But yeah, that's literally like what happens. He's like, yo, you're not going to do that. He just walks up and takes the gun away. Like, yeah, like this dude does not rob him blind. He does not strip him of his clothes and money. Like, it's not him that does it. It's someone else that does it. And yeah, that's going to happen later on in this video. And the reason is because, like, you know, he's been shot before, so he has. I mean, he spends a lot of time getting shot at, so you know he has experience with knowing whether someone's gonna shoot him or not. And this guy is such a baby. Hey, like real royalty, I think most of them can't even pull the trigger. They just get other people to do it for them. And yeah, he is a boss fight. Thing is, once you get to this chapter, it's not like you can grind in Hawaii before you get to fight this guy. You have to grind before even meeting him, and the amount of grinding you have to do in order to dodge any of his attacks is some insane shit. Oh wait, I do still have my grenade with me though, don't I? I say that as if I'm playing the game and this isn't just like predestined. Yeah, I'm going to use that attack, and that attack is not going to instantly kill him, and he's going to do an attack which I can't avoid. In fact, I'm actually wondering about this specific attack. Is that like, can that attack even be avoided? It's like a projectile, you know, like Jujing Han, the reason you couldn't avoid his attack, like the big gun thing, is because it's like a projectile that doesn't have like a property of missing. It's like it's a gun. It's like if he shoots you with the gun, you're always going to get hit by it. Just like the specific move he does. It's like that move like never misses or something like that. And I feel like that electric thing is probably one of those moves that will never miss. So if I'm playing this on legend difficulty and I have max attack, and this attack is completely unavoidable, I'm gonna be a little mad. Oh yeah, I was talking about that. So yeah, the heavy machinery in Yakuza 7, you pretty much just have to like overpower that machine and deal enough damage that you can pretty much kill it in like 2 turns, and that's how you no damage that machine. At least that's what I remember from memory. And this game, I mean, it got spoiled. You're gonna fight a huge ass shark later on, and I'm pretty sure the shark operates the same way, because I'm pretty sure the shark's just gonna have like some mega attack that's like impossible to like avoid. So you pretty much have to like kill that shark in like 1 or 2 hits, and that's how that's gonna have to go. And I'm absolutely certain that the summons will play a part in that. But yeah, no, I'm just really hoping that shark boss fight isn't too difficult. As for my but yeah, pretty much the way this walkthrough series is going to work out is I'm going to do a normal playthrough, you know, just play on normal. I mean, I'll be doing side quests because honestly, one of the most important things is just getting all the summons in this game in the first place. We're going to be relying on them a lot, and if we don't have a good variety to choose from, we're pretty much just going to be dead in the water. Honestly, that's just good advice for playing the game normally. Like, honestly, I remember so many people complaining about the Majima and Saejima fight. And mind you, just like Yakuza 7, when I was playing that game normally, was such a smooth experience for me. Like, it's like the only JRPG which I had to do like 0 grinding in just to beat the game normally, right? I literally just, you know, did side quests, but like not too excessive. You know, I did some side quests. You know, I just kind of fought any enemy which I ran across in like the open world. I did the main story content, and I never felt like I was ever in a situation where I actually had to grind to beat something. Honestly, for the Majima and Saejima thing, I did like the entire Sotenbori Coliseum, like pretty much did all its levels in one go, and that leveled me up enough that I could fight Majima and Saejima at a decent pace, though I still lost a couple times because that fight is hard. But what really helped me in that fight was the Masochist Man summon. That guy was integral to surviving that fight. I would use that summon when like Saejima steps into the field because, you know, he deals such heavy damage that that super like huge increase in defense was absolutely necessary. And here, like, I could have sworn I cut this. Yeah, like that was like for 10 minutes. I paused that for like 10 minutes, but I cut that to pretty much like fix it. And here, like, I mean, and now here's another fake out. I'm like, oh, is this going to end up with him being naked on the beach? Or rather, is this going to end up with him being at a police station, which he has to break out of later in order to pretty much meet up with Kiryu? Is Kiryu going to get introduced a lot sooner? Well, mind you, the reason I know about the Kiryu introduction is because, like a Dragon Gaiden, once you beat that game, you gain access to a special story demo of pretty much Like a Dragon 8 here. And you get to play pretty much just a section of the game. However, from what I played here, I mean, I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to spoil it. Basically, like, there's sections of that demo which are not in this game. At the very least, they haven't showed up yet. Like, pretty much, like, this game kind of plays like a truncated version of what happens in that demo. Like, there's like 3 minutes of cutscenes which just don't happen in this game and only happen in that demo. And, well, to be fair, honestly, those cutscenes aren't really that important. They're more important to Gaiden than they are to this game. Like, I was actually expecting, like, this game to open up exactly the same way that demo opens up, but that's just not what happens. Kiryu kind of gets introduced very hastily. However, that's like literally at the very end of this stream, and there's like nearly an hour left of that not happening, so I'm gonna have to talk about something else. But the things I want to talk about are not the things which are happening right now. They're the things which are going to happen in like 5 or 10 minutes. And yeah, and since I wasn't playing this live, I'm skipping through the text a lot quicker. Can I read this text, which I myself am skipping? Yes, I can. Hey, that's a good name. Good one, I read it. So Kazaka, where are you headed, if I may ask? Oh shit, that's right, the address was on the envelope. The envelope? Was that the driver? Was that... I wouldn't know... Akane says without directing it. It's like a tongue twister. I'm like, it's not so much that I can't read it in time, it's that I can't say it out loud in time. Hey, you serious? I see the envelope in the video I just took. It's too rough for you right now, but I can tweak the data. Okay. I didn't say it that well, but I said it kind of. Then we can read it. Yeah, I think that should work. You really do that for me? Of course, in fact, I said this was meant to be. But I really need my laptop to enhance the video, so no trouble. Can I ask you to come to where I'm staying? Oh yeah, I owe you big time. E-chan. I don't even know how to say that. E-chan? So Edgy, right? So you're E-chan? Sorry that I got a little too chummy. Oh no, it's just that it's been a while since anyone gave me a nickname. Anyways, should we get going? Boom. Yeah, I mean, I could maybe, with a little bit more practice, speak it just as fast as I'm skipping it. I'm a little sad that he doesn't get like a little sprite at the bottom right corner of the screen, because usually when you have like a party member, they get to join the bottom right corner of the screen. Though he doesn't end up being a party member. However, this game kind of plays around with it. Like, yeah, he's not going to be fucking fighting anyone in his wheelchair, but he could be a support member. I mean, that's going to get introduced in like the next 10 minutes or so, but it's like a cute little way to play around with the concept of the turn-based game. He could be a party member, just not a fighter, just like a support unit. He even gets like his little, like, you know, battle like display icon thing with alongside Ichiban. Okay, so here's the thing I wanted to talk about. I kind of hate this. Pretty much, it's just like, this is like what The Last of Us did. This is like what most Xbox 360 games, PS3 games, like that's what the 7th generation of console games, they love doing this shit where you just slowly walk to hear a character like spout exposition at you. Like The Last of Us did it a lot. Metal Gear Rising has sections which are very similar to this. And now this game is doing it, and I'm just not a big fan. I'd rather this just be a cutscene that I, you know, can kind of tap through. Just like, I really don't like this. I mean, I like the conversations they're having, but I just don't like this blending of gameplay and story. Like, honestly, Yakuza would do this every now and then, but like in Yakuza 0, I really like the way they did it in Yakuza 0, where you had to like manually walk with Makoto to get some items because she can't see that well, so you walk alongside her. I think that's a really touching moment. I mean, like here, I guess they're kind of doing something similar, but it happening so early in the game when we barely have any attachment to this guy is kind of throwing me off. And also the performance of my Steam Deck surely isn't helping anything. Also, I didn't do this myself, but I saw a video of someone doing this. If you walk in front of that guy's flame, you actually get damaged. And I think that's really funny. And also, I was wrong about something I said earlier. Or maybe I didn't say it earlier, I actually don't remember. But you can still get run over by cars in this game. So I thought they got rid of that in this game. No, not true. If you walk in front of a moving car that's running straight at you, you get hit by it and you take damage. Wait, I think the thing which threw me off is that if in Like a Dragon Gaiden, if you walked in front of a car, you don't get damaged. But that's just because like Joryu is like, you know, built different and all that. But no, in this game you do get damaged. However, I wonder if you were running. Oh, you never get to run as Kiryu though, because while he is kind of like the side protagonist or whatever, you're always controlling Ichiban, I think. I mean, hey, I'll wait for this game to prove me wrong, but I'm pretty sure you always control Ichiban. But, you know, I haven't beaten this game yet, so I wouldn't know. That's one thing I can't guess about, or just, I don't have any future knowledge about that. I have no idea what Loco Moco is. However, they are about to mention something which I do know about. However, that sounds delicious. I want to eat that. In fact, I just want to go eat some meat or something. Yeah, I do know what Mahi Mahi is. I've eaten it before, very yummy fish, yum yum, I like that. We down to eat some of that now, right now. The setting of Hawaii is really interesting for this game, considering I've only been once. And honestly, it might have been over 10 years ago, and one of the most memorable things I did while in Hawaii was I went on like a 9 to 10 hour road trip to go to a beach with black sand. My mom and I were separated at birth. Can't relate. But I can relate to the Hawaii setting because I puked like 2 times on that road trip. Maybe once, I might be exaggerating, but it was just a grueling task to go see this fucking beach. And in the middle of it, we just stopped at this random place that like served pizzas wrapped up in leaves and all that. And like, you know, it's like, hey, you know, pizza on the road. Honestly, I don't remember if it was good or not, but it was probably good because I was scarfing it down and I was probably regurgitating it while on the way there. And then we get to the beach. And you know, it's just like, it didn't live up to the hype. No, the waves definitely did. Like, it was knocking my family down to the ground. There's very strong waves. In fact, like, they were so strong that they were dangerous. And also just hanging around there, like, it was not a place to lay down and chill. We had to leave because it was going to get dark out. But, you know, we got there. And see, I was expecting like a sand, you know, like sand is very tiny, right? Like the grains of sand. So I was expecting that, but black. But what it was is just like a bunch of rocks. It was just a bunch of black rocks, like, you know, on the ground. That was what the sand was, but it's not really sand, you know? I mean, maybe technically it's classified as sand, but I just don't believe in it. I don't buy it. And I was just sad to see that was the case. Okay, so this game has this habit of doing this. It does not run great, right? It runs really bad. Like, it's running really bad right now, but sometimes this game likes to run even worse. I'm not sure if it's going to happen right now. I think it happens after I do the little, like, swimming thing. Or it might just be happening right now. No, it's not happening right now. Like, you know how, like, the text is kind of lagging right now? There comes a point where, like, you know, the letters start getting so slow that, like, you know, it takes, like, 3 seconds for one letter to show up. You know, it's like, you see how it says, if you're fearless? Pretty much it would show up as I, 3 seconds, F, 3 seconds. The space to get to the next word, 3 seconds. Like, it's gonna get that bad in like 2 minutes or so, if I'm remembering my own recording. I did this recording today, mind you. I say today as in the 26th, when this video might not even come out on the 26th. I'm not even sure. It might come out on the 27th because, you know, once I'm done with this video, I also have to export it and then upload it to YouTube. I mean, like, that's gonna take a while. I mean, I don't have the best internet, and also my laptop has seen better days. I mean, there was one time I had to present a project for like one of my college classes. I'm not in college anymore, but I had to present a project for one of my college classes, and I accidentally dropped it. And there's just this little side of my laptop. It is a MacBook. It is Apple. That's just slightly dented, and it's been like that for 4 years or so. There it is. That's what I was talking about. So sometimes the game just likes to do that. And yeah, I do press the button to kind of like skip all that like loading text stuff. But even that doesn't help. So I was like, what, is the game just going to run like this now? Mind you, I do think my Steam Deck might have been overheating, because something I did while pausing the game is I would just, like, you know, pretty much get into the Steam Deck case, just close it while the game was still running. Pretty sure that air being trapped there just heated up the Steam Deck even more. And maybe it was just so steamed up that we end up with a situation like this, where it's just, that is the most abysmal running game that it ever ran. I was like, oh my goodness, there's no way I'm gonna have to deal with it. But it fixes itself and it just starts running, you know, like an N64 game. Thing is, maybe if I lower the graphics this time, the game will actually run at a smooth 60. It's just that I have like an entire first playthrough that disproves that. Maybe the reason I lost 20 subscribers the first day I streamed Yakuza 8 is because my footage looked like complete shit. Like, I was just literally spending like over an hour of the stream going, hey guys, this looks really bad. Hey guys, this looks really bad. Let me change this setting and it's gonna look good this time, guys. It's gonna run good. And then it doesn't. And I'm like, hey guys, I just changed that setting. It still looks bad. Like, I just kept doing that over and over and over and over. I mean, is that a bit that y'all want to see return? Like, should I keep doing that for the rest of this 100-hour playthrough? But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think I fully elaborated on that playthrough setting. Well, before I elaborate on that playthrough setting, being able to swim in this game is so cool. That is such a cool addition. I love that. Just because, like, you were never able to do this before, and, you know, it's such a great addition. I mean, hey, we're in Hawaii. One of the most important things about Hawaii, beaches. Wait just a silly minute. That was a rainbow drop, and I did not go to it. What's up with that? Or that just might have been a guy in a rainbow shorts, and we're not going to steal his rainbow shorts. That's sexual harassment. We're not doing that. Wait, but no. The reason I said wait a minute is because in Yakuza 3, you are in front of a beach. And you can run into the beach and run around in the water, which could kind of count as swimming, but you don't actually swim. You just run around in the water. And honestly, that was pretty cool. But this is cooler. You can actually swim in this water. Though the one drawback is this water is realistic now. It's not like the bright, beautiful blue of that Yakuza 3, like, you know, Sega water or whatever. Hey, this game is still a Sega game, but now it's a little more realistic. You know, like the water, like the tones aren't as bright and blue. But to be fair, we are playing this game at like a dawn setting, you know, like very orange lighting. You know, the sun is setting. So, like, the ocean does take on a different hue at this time. Maybe during daytime, the beach, like the water, like the water in the beach is more blue, but I guess I'll just have to return to this area during the daytime and just confirm that for myself. And here he's about to do a little No More Heroes 1 reference here. I'm not sure if you're going to catch it. I'm just going to point it out to you when it happens. So you see Travis Touchdown, not Travis the one who does a touchdown in football, but Travis Touchdown, the character from No More Heroes 1. He used to get money by hitting coconut trees, and then the coconuts would fall from the trees, and he would sell those coconuts to the Coconut Man. Except this time, Ichiban subverts that expectation by just drinking the coconut himself. His labor is for him drinking yummy coconut water and not for cash, despite the fact that they are both broke men, except one of them is a mass murderer, and Ichiban, not so much. However, Ichiban does work with a lot of mass murderers, though. Jujin Han is a trained assassin. Joe Sawashiro, mind you, him and Joe Sawashiro aren't really on good terms or whatever. They fucking hate each other, but Joe Sawashiro kills a shit ton of people. The person he does look up to, like his dad, you know, the boss, he fucking murders like crazy. You know, I mean, we had that little flashback, which, I mean, yeah, he didn't know about that. He recently learned about that flashback or whatever, but we just saw that, like, last stream. That was an insane massacre, and also just torturing the guy by shooting his fingers. Just what the fuck, dude? That guy was more unhinged than Majima, I swear. I swear he's probably killed more people in canon than Majima. I mean, hey, like, Yakuza 0 kind of portrayed Majima as more of a heroic guy, and then, like, you know, they kind of wanted to play up that image a bit more as it went along. I mean, I'm sure Majima has killed a few people by this point, you know, like Yakuza 1, Yakuza 2, Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, Yakuza 5. I mean, there's no way he hasn't killed anyone. He's not Kiryu, right? He doesn't have that code. I mean, even Kiryu has killed a few people, but he's not like a mass murderer. You feel me? And now I'm just kind of wondering how they're going to handle these sort of scenes in the English dub, because, you know, everyone's going to be speaking English, so how are we going to communicate that Ichiban doesn't understand English? I mean, I wonder what workaround they found to do this sort of thing. Is this moment going to teach us a tutorial? Oh no, it's just going to introduce the fact that, yeah, you can have support units on your team. It's like in Fuka and Persona 3, which, hey, that Persona 3 remake is going to be coming out, and it is the sort of game I would like to play. Honestly, I hope it runs well on the Steam Deck. Wait, is it even gonna be on the Steam Deck? But I hope it runs well on the Steam Deck. What I've seen from that game, one of the most impressive things is pretty much just its in-game models. Because, you know, everyone loves Persona 5. I mean, I played it, I really like that game. And everyone remembers that its visuals look fantastic. However, if you really study the in-game models, not like the cinematic models, but just like the models that you play around with, like, you know, just in gameplay, or the models that you see when you're really zoomed out, just exploring the world or whatever, they're a little fucked up. I mean, honestly, this was also true of like Persona 3 and 4, you know, of their time and all that. Like, you know, just the in-game models. I mean, just you always have like those portraits showing up whenever you talk to them, so it's like easy to ignore. But the in-game models are a little fucked up for their time, and Persona 5 is a huge step up from Persona 3 and Persona 4, but the Persona 5 models are still, I mean, not to be a broken record, I'm just gonna confirm that I am a broken record, they're just a little fucked up, you know? Like, just study like Anne, her eyes are fucking like Sid the Sloth, they're like separated, like just by an avalanche, a fucking cliff is like separating her eyes on that in-game model. She looks weird, bro. And then like, but you study the, at the very least from what I've seen, you study like these Persona 3 Reload models, they're super high def and they look really good. And they're also a huge improvement from like the Persona Dancing All Night models. Those models have their own issues. In fact, man, you know like how people have been inbreeding pugs for like their entire history? You know, like the pug dog used to be like normal, like in the 1930s or something, but as they kept getting like inbred more and more and more and more, now they're just like these weird abominations that can't breathe well. They're very cute. I mean, honestly, when I say abominations, I just mean more the fact that they can't fucking breathe anymore. But they're really cute and adorable dogs. I love them a lot. It's just that their fucking internals are fucked up, yo. That's kind of what happened to Yu Narakami from Persona 4. Because, like, you know, in the original Persona 4, normal eyes. I mean, the model looks a little weird, but, you know, normal eyes. And then there's, like, the fighting games. His eyes get a little bit more separated. And then you get to the dancing games. His fucking eyes are, like, on two different, like, axes. You know, like, fucking... Like, Yu Narakami's, like, left eye is, like, fighting for the Nazis. His right eye is fighting for the fucking Allies or some shit. It's, like, just comparing the two different models is insane. Just, like, they did him so dirty. Like, you know, and Ichiban's over here like, I'm only human after all. I actually want to take this little clip, and I'm just going to put that song over it, because, like, that song had, like, the little music video where the camera just spins around the guy over and over again. Like, and also just, like, because my Steam Deck can't run this game well, spinning this around just looks fucked up, like it's lagging behind. But there's also motion blur. It's just a whole fucking cacophony of nonsense. And also, it's, like, the only memorable thing from this stream, maybe, aside from just this game being pretty good. I don't know. But just definitely a slow starter, but, you know, I'm engaged. I'm having fun with the combat, but then again, it's just... It's been like, what, 2 to 3 chapters? Oh yeah, this is still chapter 2. It's just that chapter 1 is insanely long. Just a bunch of cutscenes, one after the other, one after the other. And wow, you know, I keep getting sidetracked because I still have not mentioned how I'm going to do my walkthrough series. So yeah, I'm going to do my normal playthrough, right? And then once I beat the game and level everyone up to level 99, I'm going to do my legend playthrough where I'm going to pretty much skip all the cutscenes and then pretty much reach the boss fights after no damage and then no damage them. Though, I don't think I'm going to no damage them on stream. I'm just going to reach them. I'm going to have a save file for that moment. And then on my own time, I'm going to reload that save file and then attempt to no damage them. Just because, like, with my Steam Deck setup, I just don't see how I'm going to stream the game and also get recordings without my audio interfering. I just don't think it's possible. Also, I might try to get a higher resolution going. Like, I think I'll connect my Steam Deck to my TV. But considering this game chugs at 720p, trying to, like, raise the resolution is just going to make the game run even worse. And it's just going to fuck me over. So I think I should actually just avoid doing that. See, like, I would prefer if the cutscenes are just done like this all the time instead of whatever the hell they were doing beforehand, where you couldn't skip, like, them talking. You know, they were doing it like it was a random conversation in the world, but you're kind of forced to listen to it. However, this is not the first time this series of games has done this. Lost Judgment and some of its side quests would do this format. There it fucking is. I don't like this format. This format is very annoying. It's just very restrictive. You just kind of have to sit there and take it. But yeah, no, Lost Judgment also did this whenever you were doing... For certain detective cases with Amasara. I forgot her name. The quirky high schooler detective. She was a fun character. I like her. I hope she returns in, like, the future Judgment games and whatnot. And that just kind of reminds me. So, Like a Dragon Gaiden I believe, is like the last beat 'em up game for Kiryu. It's kind of sending him off, you know, an end of an era. But is it sending off beat 'em up combat for this entire franchise? Because I really hope it doesn't. I mean, I'll be content if if the Judgment games are like the only ones with beat 'em up combat, or if like another quirky spin-off comes off. I mean, the quirky spin-offs have been like, you know, the samurai games, which just... There has not been another samurai game in a long time. I mean, I guess they did all their eras, you know. Shit, wait, what era was Miyamoto Musashi in? Was that the Sengoku era? I mean, like, the Ishin one is like the Heisen era. I'm getting my eras wrong, but, you know, they tackle like two very famous eras. I mean, is there really any other eras they can pull from to make another samurai game with maybe Ichiban as a protagonist? I don't know. I mean, hell, they have to... I think they're planning on doing a Kiwami version of Kenzin at some point. So honestly, if they're going to do another samurai game, that's probably where they're going to put all their focus, instead of just making a brand new one with Ichiban. Because, you know, everyone... I mean, we got Ishin, and I guess now everyone wants Kenzin, but the developers have been on like... pretty much have been on call, on record. They've been quoted as saying something along the lines of, if we do Kenzin, we can't just release the game normally. We're going to do a Kiwami of it, because it's like... you know, just doesn't meet our standards anymore. Something along those lines, which, I mean, if Yakuza 3 meets your standards, Kenzin meets your standards. So, the one annoying and dated thing about Kenzin is just that there's like so many missable side stories and like side quests. And also the way upgrades works. I actually like the way upgrades work in Kenzin. Like, you know, you have to actually go to the masters and that's how you learn the moves. That's actually fun, but it's just that most of the Yakuza series doesn't operate like that anymore. That is a nice pool. That is a nice pool outside. Though I guess it's not really his pool. It's more like the motel's pool or something. Which, you know, I guess everyone shares, so it's pretty contaminated or whatever. But, you know, fuck it. I mean, I'll go out there. I'll go with that pool. I'll hit up that motel pool. No problem. Maybe a few problems, but like I'll do it. Is what I'm saying. And also, also when I saw this dude's camera, I was like, yo, he's just like me because I always be fucking around with cameras as well. Though I highly doubt I will be able to like enhance the image and get like clear, like, you know, a clear viewing of the text if I didn't take that image in like 4K raw, and also I had my focus on that. Like, it would be really messed up if he took that photo but like his focus like fucked up and it just wasn't focused on the letter and he couldn't do anything about it. But, you know, don't think about it too much. He's just gonna analyze it to get a clearer image. And yeah, here's royalty, the royal asshole. He's back, except he's got the eviler asshole behind him. And the way they've been hyping this, I like that the first line this guy says is colder than a witch's tit. Like, I like that. Also, I really like that they're playing out that this guy's just always cold all the time. Because, you know, he wears a fuck ton of clothing, even though it's like fucking Hawaii. But he's like, oh, I'm so cold, I'm so cold. Considering that Ichiban's a hothead, who's gonna be his rival? A cold head. Someone who's stupidly cold. Like, Ichiban is like stupidly hot-headed, this guy is stupidly cold, bald or something. But yeah, no, like, it is like a little funny that like the developers have been hyping this guy up as like Ichiban's like main antagonist, the same way like Majima was like the main rival antagonist to Kiryu. But I mean, what I've seen from this guy, he's like a pretty cool character. You know, he's a dick. He's like kind of a, you know, he's really evil. He's dickish. He's got a cool swagger about him. It's just that, like, you know, when you start making comparisons, like, oh, this is gonna be like Ichiban's Majima, it's like you got a lot of, you know, you got to live up to that. And also, it kind of implies that there's gonna be like 7 more games of this guy. So, you know, I mean, like, how long is Ichiban's story gonna be? You know, what are we dealing with here? You know, how long term is this guy going to be that he survives this game and we get to continue on and go from there? But so far, I do like this guy. However, I mean, we are going to encounter this guy a lot more. In fact, we're going to have another fight with him because the demo already spoiled me that, yeah, there's going to be another fight. In fact, the next fight is probably going to happen in the next stream. We're just going to beat him up again. We're going to beat up his goons and all that. But yeah, no, I just don't know how this guy's going to play out long term. But he's pretty entertaining in the short term so far, and also I don't even know everything that is going to happen with this guy in short term. Anyways, I don't even know the short term, so I just have to wait for that to play out. And I did say I edited these pauses, but they were like shorter pauses, which I didn't bother to edit, and now they're here, and they're here. Oh, yeah, it's back.
あれ俺んとこの組で貸してた車なんだよ。組って？ハワイにもヤクザがいんのか？
What the fuck is wrong with him? Why did he do that? Nah, I like this guy. I hope he shows up more. Also, his voice actor is like really famous. Wait. I don't know who it is though. Yeah, I just straight up don't know who it is. Honestly, my best guess is that it's the same guy who voices Dio. I guess he like offers his voice for this guy, but it may be someone completely different. That's just kind of the first guy that pops up like in my head when I'm just kind of hearing this guy speak and talk and voice things. But you know, it's just really funny. And also just for the color contrast, there's nothing too crazy going on here. I mean, he's just kind of gray and black, while Ichiban is red and white. And wait, maybe that jacket has a slight blue tinge to it. Am I just crazy? Is there no blue going on there? Because that would be really funny if like the suit he's wearing underneath that like gray jacket was like blue or something. Because it would be like blue and gray versus white and red. You know, white and red, very loud, wah rah. Well, this guy has like a very subdued blue and like subdued gray. You know, very quiet, very, you know, whatever. But honestly, I think I'm like way overthinking things now, considering the fact that Masato in Yakuza 7 was blue. That guy is actually contrasting with Ichiban, you know, like white and blue versus red and blue, conservative versus Democrat. I don't think they were thinking about that. Despite the fact that Yakuza 7 did have a section where Ichiban just like runs for president or just runs for something in the cabinet or whatever. Fucking big elephant versus big donkey. Why the fuck are the symbols a big elephant or a big donkey? That's in America too. That doesn't even apply to Japan, or does it? I don't know. But wait, there was something else I wanted to mention involving this fucking guy. His facial hair. I have his facial hair, except that currently at this exact moment, that's not true. It would have been true about 3 days ago. Oh, it could have been true about 2 days ago. And if we get really liberal with the... No, I don't mean liberal in a political sense. I just mean liberal in like a open-ended sort of thing. If we get really liberal with the definition, this would have been true 1 day ago. But at this current moment, it is not true because I actually shaved like the day before this game came out because I'm on a mission. I shaved myself completely for this game, and I don't plan on shaving ever again until I complete my no damage video, pretty much no damaging all the main story boss fights in this game. So we're about to see how long it takes for me to just no damage all the boss fights on legend difficulty, and then we'll see how much facial hair I have by then. But honestly, I will have this dude's facial hair, not Ichiban's. I mean, honestly, the dude's not even on screen. He's like right behind me. I'm gonna have that dude's facial hair in like 4 days or so. Honestly, like I can see the outline of my facial hair. Pretty much, what I mean by that is I have the mustache, I have the soul patch, and I have the chin part. I forgot what it was called. It has a specific name, but I don't have that anymore. And also, this game kind of loves putting you up against multiple like, you know, small enemies. Mind you, Yakuza 7 also like doing that. It's just that I guess in the beginning of this game, you know, it's just the one Ichiban versus like a crowd of 7. So like this Ichiban gets like one turn, and then the crowd of 7 just does like their entire shtick over and over again. Also like the addition of proximity bonuses. That's really fun. I like that a lot. And also really like this dynamic intro here. I will say, like, the dynamic stuff which has been appearing in this game so far, it's cool, but it also has a little bit of awkwardness into it. I don't know if current Yakuza games are just playing into the awkwardness a little bit, like, just like the physics. Like, the physics of that are just a little bit fucked. Honestly, Like a Dragon Gaiden also had this issue, but I just assumed that Like a Dragon Gaiden's, like, physics issues are just because the game was, like, a bit rushed. But this is a game which they really spent all their time on. That was so sick. Just like the little camera move and like the shadows whenever he swung his crowbar over his head and just him sliding away. That was fucking awesome. Just like some of the physics of him throwing a guy at the wheelchair guy just seems a little off and like awkward and finicky. I talked more about this kind of like weird dynamic intro physics stuff in my no damage video of all of Like a Dragon Gaiden's like bosses. And here, I guess I'm just weighing my options or whatnot. Hey, do I attack this guy? No, I think at this current moment, I was considering whether or not this guy has that shit on. And honestly, I'm going to say it. Ichiban's rival, he has that shit on. I mean, no lie. Though I have this guy's facial hair. I don't have his hairdo because he looks fucking psychotic that way. I just comb my hair back. I mean, the way my hair exists, you know, the way my hair genes like genetically is encoded into my body. I can't have hair like that. I really can't comb it like that. At the very least, I don't think I can. Maybe if I go to like a barber and tell them, hey, I want hair like this guy, they'll be like, why are you showing me a photo of a video game character? Are you unhinged? And I just wouldn't do that. But also, I don't want hair like that. It's just weird and like it just wouldn't fit me personally. Though, like, I mean, hey, I'm sure there's always counterexamples. Like, there is someone where that style of hairdo would go amazingly with them. Hell, I mean, honestly, there is an argument to be made that hairstyle makes this dude look handsome. I'm sure people find that guy handsome. And like oh, that guy is so scary. Oh, sort of way. I mean, shit, hell, even their hairdos are like different. You know, Ichiban, like, his hair stands away from him, while his rival's hair goes down on him. Oh my goodness. And also, this game has backshots tech. Well, you know, that's just funny. You just go behind the enemy and then boom, you land a backshot and it deals more damage. Honestly, I wonder how important that's gonna be for like just me trying to no damage these boss fights. It's just that, like, you know, in order to get like a back shock tech, you have to be really, really lucky. I just don't see a way to do it. And here, I love this dynamic little thing here, just like at the very end of the fight, you get to do this, and there's actually a QTE with this one. I think there is, right? You have to press a button in order to like actually succeed at whatever's going on here. Wait, do you have to? I think I might be misremembering here. Oh, you actually don't. But this is still cool, though. It's like a nice little interruption at the end of the turn-based fight. I lost track of whatever the fuck I was just babbling about. Though it is really cool that I did not use a single healing item in this fight, even though I was very close to death. Honestly, I was kind of risking it because if I failed a couple of those like perfect blocks, he would have killed me. Yeah, no, because like hitting an enemy from the back was also important when this game wasn't turn-based. In fact, it was more important when this series wasn't turn-based. Like Yakuza 0, most of your combos, you have to like get behind the enemy and hit them from the back, or just, you know, it wouldn't work out because if you hit them from the front, the enemy will just like block or dodge or counter or just do something like that. Like you had to like align them with like rush or your other counter abilities to pretty much do combos from the back and kind of go from there. And that also applies to pretty much nearly like every single game in this series. But now there's a bonus for being able to hit enemies from the back, but it's just like, you know, how do you set that up correctly? Is there like actual tech you can exploit in order to set up an enemy to be hit from the back for extra damage? Is there actually a way to do that? Or is it all just luck based in RNG? I mean, Yakuza 7 has its good share of RNG. This game minimizes a bit of that RNG. You know, like, I mean, you can choose whether to pick up a weapon or not, you know, from the environment. I think that's super sick. That's a super dope addition. But there's still a bit of randomness in there. But the point is, this combat is really fun. And it is more fun than 7's from what I've played so far. And it's just because of a lot of really smart and nice additions. And it just has a faster flow, snappier. I like that. Very cool. And also another thing which I'm a huge fan of is just whenever you like attack an enemy and they bounce off a wall, it deals more damage. That's awesome. It just makes it just... the cathartic feeling of this game, just like it's so, it's fun. It's fun. Yakuza is finding its own like personality as a turn-based game, and I think that's just sick as hell. You know, it doesn't play like other turn-based games on the market. Like it really is. It's really becoming its own thing, and it's fucking sick, man. It's fucking sick, and you know this was a good direction for the Yakuza series, and it's a good direction for Ichiban's character, though. The only thing I'm really sad about is just that, like, you know, when Like a Dragon, when Yakuza 7 was getting hyped up, I'm like, man, what is Ichiban's unique fighting style going to be like, considering he's he's more of a ruffian, and it just turned out, oh, he has no unique fighting style. He's a turn-based guy. It's like, oh. But you know what? I mean, I'm having fun with this game so far, and... yeah, no, I'm just excited to continue playing it and get back to playing it. But right now I'm just doing commentary because I recorded footage for a stream because I was just in a location with no Wi-Fi and also in the hospital. No further context needed for that. It was not for me, it was for my dog. Except as those technically aren't hospitals or like veterinarians or whatever. It was not my dear nephew though. He's doing fine. He's just chilling. It was my other dog. And now she's chilling for now. We're not in chapter 3 yet, but we're pretty much gonna enter chapter 3 soon. And I just want to say, oh man, the beginning of chapter 3 has so many cutscenes. Like it's just cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. And one of them is in a format where you can't skip it, but it's not like a full cutscene. However, I will say this specific cutscene I'm actually a big fan of because of this one detail. I think it's going to happen here. I'm just kind of waiting for it to show up. He just kind of spends a lot of time knocking, and then at one point, someone actually responds to him, but she takes a fucking while to respond too. Mind you, this person that's going to be inside the house is the one that ends up drugging him and then stripping him of all his possessions and clothes and leaving him butt booty naked on a beach. But there you go, she's responded, and then Ichiban, he's going to grab the door handle. He's going to grab the door handle. Yo, bro, grab that door handle. Stop wasting time. Get this low POV shot out of my face and get to the next shot. Come on. Come on. There we go. I love this shot because it's just like the way they animated his hand. It's like he's kind of grabbing it. He firmly grabs it. He grabs it even harder, and then he turns. Like, this is like, I mean, everyone was like going gaga over the scene of him eating bread, and I still go gaga over that scene because that's very impressive bread physics. But I just love that. It's like he's kind of grabbing it, and it's like, oh, he can't grab it any harder. He grabs it a little harder. Okay, that's the hardest he can grab, right? But no, he grips it even more firmly. It's like the rule of threes. Once again, we are back with the threes, and we're in chapter 3. It is foolish not to consider the number 3. However, I'm not really the biggest fan of the way this chapter starts off. It's kind of like chapter 2 kind of starts off with a little cliffhanger, and then this chapter starts off with this, and then like the next cutscene is just going to be like repeating that previous cutscene. Except now I get to see the full picture. I'm not really sure if this framing device works that well. I mean, it's kind of neat, you know. It's like very shadowy the way he opens the door, then suddenly, boom, we're in jail. It's like we're playing fucking Silent Hill 1, where, you know, you look at the map and it's like, oh, this door is gonna lead me here, right? But then you reach the final level and then you open one door and it just teleports you to the room in like, you know, in like floor 3, and that's awesome. By the way, I love that about Silent Hill 1. I want to do a no damage of the first 4 Silent Hill games one of these days. I have no interest in doing any of the games outside of the first 4. Mind you, I haven't even played any of the games outside of the first 4. I just really... Oh yeah, Silent Hill 2. The remake of that game was supposed to come out at some point. And yeah, it's probably going to suck because Silent Hill 2 is still like one of the greatest games of all time. So any remake is just going to be a little bit weird, kind of trying to grasp at the straws of greatness. I don't know. And also it's made by Blooper Team, which does not have the best track record with mental illness in horror games. And also just their horror games have kind of been weird rip-offs of Silent Hill anyways. And just mediocre rip-offs per se. At least from what I've seen. Like the fucking... What was like their... What was the last game they made called? Like the one with like the orange title or whatever. Fucking the Remnant, just like fucking the final message of that game is just that like, hey, if you have mental illness and you're like a little bit annoying to other people, shit, maybe you do have to kill yourself. Maybe there is no helping you. Bye-bye. I mean, like Silent Hill 2 also has a character that's kind of like that, but it was like more nuanced in that game, while in fucking the game which Blooper Team made, it's like the whole ending, it's like the thesis of the fucking game. It just does not work very well. Yeah, no, like, and then with this framing device, we're back here. I do wonder, is it going to show the same exact shot of him gripping the door handle, like, really tightly, or is it going to be something different now that, you know, we're back in this scene again? Let's see, is it actually going to play out the same exact cutscene? Right now, that is what it's doing. But there's more to it this time. Is the music slightly different? Do I have, am I just forgetting things really quickly? It's the same shot, except boom, he's kind of grabbing it, grabs it a little more firmly, and then he fully grabs it. Okay, they show the same exact shot, except this time the thing actually continues into the very next scene. And now we get to see the full cutscene. And he's like, oh, where's my mom? Where's my mom? Where could she be? Was that my mom talking at the door? I already know it isn't because the trailers kind of spoil that she has a housekeeper in this house and all that. Okay, but I don't know the full story of this game, so honestly I'm just going to take a big guess here and say this is my prediction for the game. It may be a thing that... this chick may not actually be her housekeeper, may have just created that lie in order to trick Ichiban and rob him. She might actually be at this house for ulterior motives. That is what I'm going to guess, because her being the housekeeper of Akame just seems a bit off, doesn't seem true. I mean, she even seems awkward the way she says hi. It's like, hi, well, okay, I just broke into this house and I don't want him to know that I broke into this house. Mind you, I might be pulling shit out of my ass. So yeah, I just have to continue playing the game and see how the game develops her story. This is our new party member, though not right now because she is going to rob us of all our possessions and leave us stranded butt booty naked on the beach to pretty much create the trailer that promoted this game. But now we're doing this fucking weird ass cutscene, and this cutscene fucking lasts forever, and it just pretty much amounts to them like talking and then her giving him more wine and more rum. and then like, you know, being like, oh yeah, I like you, I have cooties for you, and he's like, I don't like cooties, and then he fucking gets knocked out because she drugged the wine and then steals all his clothes. Yeah, I mean, mind you, this can apply to a lot of Yakuza games, but I'm definitely feeling that the application is very strong here. These games do not like being brief with their dialogues. I mean, I don't know, you could also say that about a lot of animes, but they just keep talking and talking and talking, and honestly, I fuck with it most of the time. It's just that, like, wow, this cutscene, you can't skip it. It's like a little bit more low budget. It's just like still frames with like a filter on them. It is driving me nuts. And also because the Steam Deck runs this game like shit, a very funny effect happens where the fading in and out of frames, if you pause it at just the right time, I start creating doubles of the characters. I actually took a screenshot. Yeah, if you pause that frame at exactly the right time, there's 2 of those chicks right there at the same time. She has the fucking ability to multiply. You know, if they like fade in into a frame that's like the same exact frame, but the characters like kind of move positions, it just looks very silly. Like, mind you, like the frame changed there, like the framing changed, so it won't look too silly if you get the little in-between frames of the fade, but there's like certain sections that just look ridiculous. I think this section in particular is the one I was like thinking about, the one I actually took a screenshot of. She's gonna like pull out like a bottle of wine in the next frame. Oh, never mind, no. I was wrong. Maybe it's in this one. Here, let's see. No. That little smear frame. It's not even a smear frame, but let's just call it that. It appears a little later. I didn't mention her name because I just didn't feel like saying it out loud. But I actually did not know that the game hasn't pronounced it yet. The game has not shown the name yet until this moment. This is really strange, though. Like, this is like the character's first introduction, and they get introduced in this kind of like low budget saving cost format. I mean, hey, this is like what, an 80-hour game? They have to cut costs somewhere, but cutting costs with a character introduction, that is strange. I don't know, it's just, it rubs me really wrong. But let's see. No, it still hasn't shown up yet, I'm afraid. Damn, that looked good as fuck. I mean, hey, there's one moving thing, the liquid. I mean, like everything else is like standing still, but hey, the pouring of the liquid in. Oh my fucking goodness. Look at this shit. The cutscene is so fucking long, they need to have a loading screen in the middle of it, and it's just still frames. I'm going fucking nuts, dude. I didn't even notice that the fucking cutscene has like a break in between itself. I haven't seen shit like this since fucking Metal Gear. Okay, to be fair, the previous Yakuza games have had like cutscenes that were so long that they would have like a fade out and then they would fade back in and into cutscene. But not for these style of cutscenes where it's just like a bunch of still frames, like I guess fancy still frames or whatever, but yeah, no, like, yeah, okay, and look at that. I even paused the game at exactly the right moment. She has like another head. She just spawned another head. Look at the fucking Hydra woman over here. I mean, hey, some people would not see that as a negative. But yeah, look at that. That's pineapple wine, dude. That sounds delicious, man. I'd be so down to down some like pineapple wine, even though I don't really like pineapple too much. Like, I mean, pineapple on pizza, don't like it too much. Pineapple on burgers, honestly, kind of hits pretty famous. Hawaii is pretty famous for its rum, dude. I like rum a lot. Like, you're hyping up Hawaii's rum. Now I want to go to Hawaii to drink some rum. However, I think I don't think I'm really down to go to Hawaii like that. It seems like they're getting fucked more and more by like tourist stuff, and I don't want to like continue adding to that. To be fair, I mean, I was probably adding to that 10 years ago anyways. That was probably still a problem 10 years ago. But I want some Hawaiian rum. I can get Hawaiian rum without going to Hawaii. I can like import, right? If I can import Japanese games, importing Hawaiian rum has to be just as easy. However, when it comes to drinking, okay, so Ichimon's gonna make a very big mistake here. She's coming onto him very hard to pretty much like lower his guard. He's like, oh, why does she like me? And she's going to keep giving him drinks, and I think some of these drinks are gonna be spiked, or just some of these drinks are gonna be like so high in alcohol that he just instantly knocks out. And the thing is, I would make the same mistake. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna pretend that like I wouldn't fall into the same trap, except why would I go alone to a stranger's house? I mean, it wouldn't be a stranger. I mean, it's like, oh, this is my mom, which I've been separated by at birth. See, I can't relate to him because of that, because I have not had that experience. So, like, I wouldn't know how I'd react because I don't know what it's like to not have a mother and be separated by birth and all that. And also, I just would be down to fucking down some wine and rum. I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude, let's fucking down this. However, the one thing about alcohol is I never drink alone. Drinking alone is actually one of the stupidest fucking things you can do. Honestly, just drinking alcohol in general, that's pretty stupid, okay? Like, let's not kid ourselves here. Getting fucking blasted is pretty fucking stupid. But getting blasted alone is the stupidest of the stupid, alright? Like, you're not even having fun at that point. You're just an alcoholic. I mean, hey, if you want to have, like, a few beers and play, like, Street Fighter or whatever, you know, like, go right ahead. Just don't be fucking downing shots of rum and tequila or whatever. Like, fucking control yourself, okay? Unless you're, like, at the party and vibing or with, like, the gang or whatever. Or being, like, kept in moderation. Or you have, like, someone ready to take you to the fucking hospital or something. You know, like, chill the fuck out, okay? And, I mean, Ichiban seems to have that instinct. Unless, you know, Ichiban seems to have that instinct because he's usually surrounded by party members. If she went too far. Yeah, no, because she's gonna, like, just... Oh, this is when she gives him, like, the spiked wine or alcohol. I'm just wondering how... Oh, yeah, I was talking about pineapple on burgers. Let's get back to that. Just because, like, if you really cook a pineapple to, like, when it's, like, green or something, like a kiwami pineapple, and you put it on, like, a burger, and it's, like, a thin slice, I like that a lot. However, the one time I don't like pineapple on burgers is, like, when the pineapple slices are, like, too thick. Then it's just kind of like, this is too much pineapple. I don't really like it. Ooh, is Ichiban flushed? I don't know. The filter is kind of, with the big fucking yellow filter flying around, it's kind of hard to tell, like, you know, if his cheeks are that flushed. Okay, he's definitely flushed. I've done this before, though. I will say that. Like, I mean, I've gotten so blasted I kind of went down on the ground. However, the difference between me and Ichiban is that I got back up. This guy is not getting up. He's fucking, he's going to bed there. Well, you just saw that shimmer effect, right? Like, she slightly moved, but, like, the fade in between the previous frame and the next frame, it's like there's two of her at that point. Should have done this from the start. So the previous alcohols were not spiked. It's only the last alcohol that was spiked. And then, boom, we're going to get stripped butt booty naked. We're just going to be on a beach. And honestly, I don't really have any funny commentary to add to this scene. This scene pretty much speaks for itself. I mean, you might as well just look, but it is just a trailer scene at 720p and with these weird borders.
Oh my god! A streaker!
Oh, surf's up, dude. Yeah, dude. Hang loose, bro.
俺がどうかしたのか? Huh? Huh? どうなってんだこりゃ!
And now we are in jail, and here we have a corrupt police officer, continuing the lovely transition from Yakuza 4 with its fucked up prison people. You kind of had Saito, and then you had the final boss of Yakuza 4. However, from what I understand, you don't end up fighting this guy. However, I do know there is a boss fight with a police officer, but I don't think it's going to be this guy. It's going to be someone else. Or maybe this guy helps that someone else beat you up. It doesn't seem like this guy's going to be a boss fight. But you know, I can always be proved wrong. I mean, he might just pull up and be like, hey, I'm a boss fight. And then you beat him up and he's like really easy to beat up because all he knows is being corrupt and an asshole and not how to actually fight. And like here, like the shit he's doing to Ichiban's fucking weird. It's like, what, he's just going to like make him out to be a criminal? Like, why would you do this? Oh, because he gets a promotion. That's why he does it. Like literally, he just picks up this random naked guy. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna frame this guy for literally every crime committed under the sun in Hawaii. And he's like, ooh, punch me if you want, punch me. Like, it's gonna make your case worse. And then what he realizes is, oh yeah, he's actually going to get punched later on, just not inside this room, because, you know, in this room, Ichiban can't escape that well. Honestly, Ichiban, like, pretty much beating the shit out of the cops and running away from them is very insane. Like, he actually thought he could get away with that. And then, to be fair, he does. So, you know, I mean, but he did have a lot of help on his side, with Kiryu pretty much, like, coming in and just breaking him out. I just feel like this sort of situation is like practically impossible. And ooh, see, also something which worries me is that this game runs very chuggy-like, right? But it seems like OBS sometimes glitches itself as well, because I do not remember my game glitching out like that, though maybe I wasn't looking at the screen during that point. Boom. All he did to that guy was slightly push him away. Why did he like get pushed away that much? He didn't push him that hard. And here you do not see him like opening the door animated because, well, I guess how are they going to deal with that? And here one of the strangest decisions just pops up in this game. Mind you, this Yakuza series is full of strange decisions. Yakuza 7 had a really strange decision of, at the very beginning of the game, you just enter a chase mission which has gameplay that never shows up again, because it's copying like the chase system from Lost Judgment, where chases happened a decent amount, but in Yakuza 7 they only happened the one time and never again. And here, despite having a chase system, Yakuza 8 is just kind of like, let's just abandon it and you're just going to run around in the open world. This reminds me a lot of Ishin, because Ishin also had a moment where we had to like run away from the cops or whatever. Except this one's way more scripted. There's like a huge scripted sequence of you running around in the open world, but it's not a chase mission where you just run away from people. I mean, Yakuza 4, Yakuza 3, Yakuza 5 had their own little like chase mechanics, and that's just gone here. And that car, it was glitching out, right? Wasn't it? And that QTE was really awkward. I don't know if it was awkward because it's always awkward in the game, or because my Steam Deck just can't render that smoothly. It's like he just teleported in front of that car to do like a sick move to escape from them. Though these areas we're running through are really sick and dope. I can't wait to like have full control of my character and be able to fully run around in this world, because like, I mean, the game has been on railroads for like the past 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, like 5 hours or so. It's been pretty much just railroady, just like, you know, story dump, tutorial dump sort of stuff. And like, I mean, story is building up to something here, alright? But like, I really just want to be let loose in this game. You know, let me do all the side content. You know, let me like, you know, grind, you know, earn extra levels. And here is Kiryu's first introduction in this game. Though the thing is, it's not the first time his name is mentioned, but it is the first time he just pulls up. And honestly, without playing the demo and without playing like a Dragon Gaiden, this would be like such a confusing like intro. And also, I'm pretty sure this intro was spoiled in like the trailer for this game. Probably, right? Like, I'm pretty sure it probably. I mean, like, Kiryu's like existence is spoiled, and I'm pretty sure him breaking out of those chains is pretty much, they spoil it too. But I'm actually not 100% sure about that. Just, I don't know. This is the part of the stream where I just start eating. I'll be eating them chicharrones. What y'all know about that? I like that. He's like, "Koi." It's like very formal. Mm. Yeah, no, I just do not see how this video is going to come out on the 26th. Like, I'm sorry, this video is just, it's going to come out on the 27th. There's just no way around it.
はめられたんだってな。
それより
俺は今ハワイである。それで街中の情報には
そうだったんすか。それにしても
俺が戸籍上
はい、ご家族
寝台上、俺だから俺は今
Yeah, like the whole him hitting the streets thing, you actually got to see that in the demo that was available in Like a Dragon Gaiden. I mean, it wasn't too extensive. You just basically paid a guy to give him information, and they talked. But it's just a little weird that there's like unique content in that demo that's not like in the full game. At least, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna show up later. It just seems like it'd be very weird for it to show up later.
早速ですが、仕事の話です。写真の人物の発見と身柄の確保をお願いします。
一派が関わるような人間には見えねえな。何者なんだ。
そろそろ懲りてほしいですね。その手の質問に答えたことがありましたか。
聞いてみただけだ。
パスポートは来週までに用意します。もちろん偽名ですが。
パスポート。
Yeah, no, but the actual first time this game was revealed was like just Ichiban and Kiryu just walking down the street, and Ichiban's like, hey, hey, I got a big smile, while Kiryu's like got a very serious face and a new hairdo. And I remember not fucking with that hairdo's like first reveal, because it's like, oh, he looks like Jujin Han, what the fuck? You know, he just has really fancy white hair now. Like, what is it? Is he Dante? But now it's like, oh, he has cancer. That's probably why he has white hair. Or it could also work as he has white hair because he's trying to disguise himself. And this is actually a good disguise compared to like his air quotes disguise in Like a Dragon Gaiden. My goodness. Oh yeah, no, I actually still don't know how he got cancer in this game because, well, the trailers just like imply that it's like chemicals from a job he did, but I wonder if there's like more significance to that story which is gonna play out in this game, or if it's just gonna be that like he was near some dangerous chemicals and that's that. That's gonna be a little sad. I don't know. I kind of want there to be more gravitas, more drama to that. And also, I'm eating cheese right now. I'm real cheesy with it. Oh, that was my Steam Deck. If you're wondering what that noise is, that's my Steam Deck telling me, hey, you have 10% battery. So, yeah. See, like, this entire chapter has been, like, 25 minutes of cutscenes or so. And I'm just trying to, okay, when am I going to reach a save point? When am I going to reach a save point? When am I going to reach a save point? And now you just heard the noise of this device having 10% battery. And at this exact moment, the game decides, you know what? Now we're going to have slowdown. That's why it takes so long for this screen to continue, because the game has slowed down so much that I can't press A to close until the game can handle it. It is actually ridiculously slow. And I'm freaking out over here because like, I want to reach a save point. I want to reach a save point just so I can end this game and shut it off. And also inversely end the stream. And hey, the stream's about to end. There's only 20 seconds left. So you know what I'm going to do in those 20 seconds? I'm going to take a bite of bread. I'm saving the game right now. And this video is going to end very soon. Thank you so much for sticking around. And I'll see you all then for the next stream. Peace out.